How's it going, everyone? Welcome to a Football for Fun clip. We normally live stream on Wednesdays at about 9 Eastern, 8 Central. So if you really enjoy this content and don't want to miss a live stream, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow our channel. We recently got 100. We are very proud. With that said, enjoy the clip. Terry McLaurin is also absent from minicamp, if I'm not mistaken. He's taking
So
his third contract
there's no
on
way they don't
Commanders.
pay him though, right? I mean, you got to keep Jaden's wide receiver one in town. There's no shot he's leaving. You would think.
You wouldn't think so. Unless the Commanders do a Bill O'Brien and just trade him for like a backup running back and like a second round pick.
Genius.
Um,
Oh, no way.
but no, I think yeah, Terry McLaurin is seeking a new deal. I don't know what his current contract. Let me see if I can look it up right
They had him
now.
for fairly cheap. I feel like for someone who's been so solid for such a crappy franchise until lately, of
Yeah,
course.
he's basically averaging like 22 million a year, and he's probably looking for closer to 30
I
if
would
I had
think so.
to
Yeah.
make that assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, yeah, he's still I think he's 29 if I'm not mistaken. He's been very productive on the Commanders, really no matter who they roll. Like, he'll be 30 in September, which is still like it's still pretty good. Like he still like has a few more good years of football remaining. He has posted. I actually didn't even like realize this. Like we talk about like Mike Evans like 1,000 yard like streak, which is kind of crazy. But like Terry McLaurin, it's not nearly as long. He hasn't been in the league that long, but he has had like 5 straight seasons of 1,000+ yards, which is very
With the
solid.
quarterbacks he's had to play with,
Also,
that's impressive.
that is very impressive. Okay, also there's this paradox. Not that it really matters, but I did want to point it out. Let me see. Okay, Mike Evans is only 2 years older than Terry McLaurin, right? So just put that in your head. Mike Evans is like gonna be he's basically 32. Terry McLaurin's 30,
Okay.
and I'm rounding up because they're like turning that age into the season, but you
Sure.
know what I
Sure.
mean. Mike Evans has been in the league 11 years. Terry McLaurin only 6.
So Terry was drafted. He was drafted. So did he play 4 years at Ohio State? Then was he graduated as a senior and entered the league?
Um, let's see.
I mean, because if he's entering the
He
league at 22 or 23, that
he played 4 and he redshirted.
okay,
And I guess
interesting.
Evans only he played 2 years at A&M and redshirted.
That sounds right. I remember Mike Evans today, and it was a long time ago. But
Dude, yeah, Manziel to Mike Evans was
that
absolutely
was
crazy. It is
legendary.
crazy that with Manziel was his quarterback in college, but that is insane.
It really
But
is.
anywho, because I was thinking about that because I was looking at Terry McLaurin's kind of 1,000 yard streak, and I'm thinking, oh, I wonder if he can catch Mike Evans, which I mean, it's pretty unlikely, but
It'll
he's
probably be a
I'd say a
while
little bit
before
on the
somebody catches Evans.
yeah. I would say though Terry McLaurin a little bit on the underrated side as far as like wide receivers go, and I would probably agree that I think if you're the Commanders, like I mean, you have Jaden Daniels on a rookie contract, so this is where you sort of like pay some of your like premium players. I guess maybe it gets a little bit complicated because they did just trade for Tunzel, who wants a new contract. And
Mm.
that's why we trade Tunzel. It's not because he like sucked or anything like that. It wasn't even about being the false start liability, which although that was a problem, but he wants a new deal, and understandably, we don't really want to like pay him that. And the reason I guess we're in a little bit of a different situation. It's so funny how like 1 year makes a difference. I feel like we are preparing for CJ Stroud's contract. So we're kind of like doing things like moving Tunzel and like things like that. Whereas the Commanders are kind of loading up with Jaden Daniels' rookie contract. They have Laramie Tunzel and they trade for Debo Samuel. So,
And hot take,
it'll
I'm
be
not a Debo
interesting.
guy. I'm not right now anyway. So that's part of why
Yeah,
I would be pushing to get Terry signed as soon as you can. Like he's your wide receiver one without a doubt, and why would you ruin that? You need to keep him around for your quarterback. You don't want to rely on the options behind Scary Terry. You need him. Uh,
yeah,
I don't think that's going to be a
definitely.
situation that lingers on for too long. They're going to sign him. I have no doubt about that. It would be really I mean, I can't imagine the fan base would be happy with them if they don't sign him. They're trying to move past the old ownership that was really crappy,
Mhm.
and they got this new image, this new team, and I don't think they want to break that up by not keeping their top receiver around. You know, I think it's just
Yeah,
bad for morale, bad for the team. I wouldn't do it.
I agree. I mean, Jane Daniels, he has chemistry with Terry. Like, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. It's to just sort of like be like, yeah, see you later. Sayonara, right? So, I'd agree with you there. Now, what do you think about James Cook?
James Cook, honestly, I get where he's coming from. He's been their best running back in years, probably. I don't even know who their last good running back was before James Cook. But
Mhm.
also, I'm not prioritizing the run game in Buffalo, honestly. And I know James Cook has been good, but I don't think he's been great. He's just been solid. He's been
Mhm.
fine, but he's very much, in my opinion, and I'm saying this as a James Cook fan. I'm a Georgia fan. I watched him in college. I'm rooting for him. I think he's expendable. And if he's asking for more than Buffalo wants to pay, I wouldn't have a problem with them moving on. You know, I that's just kind of
Mm,
where I am. But if he's not asking for anything unreasonable, then sure, pay him. But Buffalo's only got so much money, right?
that's true. I kind of think, uh, so apparently he's asking for like 15 million a year.
Okay,
Um,
where would that put him amongst the top of running backs?
that's a good question. So NFL running backs APY, I think ranking. Is it
Mm-hmm.
API or
Yeah,
APY?
average per year.
APY. Yeah. So, um, let's see. So Saquon is making 20 million a year,
Sure.
CMC 19, Derrick Henry 15. So he'd be about that 3-4
He wants
spot.
Derrick Henry money.
He wants Derrick Henry money, which I mean, to be fair, you do have some like ant guys up there, like Jonathan Taylor's make. I guess is Jonathan Taylor good? I mean,
He's
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 pretty
still
good,
he's
right?
easily better than James Cook. I'm sorry, James.
Yeah,
Like
I feel like I just forget he exists. Oh yeah, he had 1,400 yards
it's
because
because
he
he's
had like
stuck in
his
Indy.
really good.
So
He had a really good sophomore season. Then he kind of had a 2-year slump, and
he
now
got
he had a good
injured. He had some
season in
injury
2020.
problems. I think last year was his
Yeah,
first year healthy in a little bit.
yeah. Jonathan's making 14. Alvin Kamara's making 12 and a half. Josh Jacobs 12, and Josh Jacobs I think recently got extended, right? Like
He
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 was
was
kind of one of those like
signed by a
running.
team by Green Bay last off season. I don't think anyone would disagree that
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is better than James Cook, right?
Uh, Sorry. Can you repeat that? You don't think anyone thinks? What's that?
Basically, Josh Jacobs is better than James Cook, and I don't think anyone's really disagreeing with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. I think with James Cook,
Yeah, look up his
I'm actually
stats
just
real
looking
quick,
at that.
actually, because I was thinking his best season's probably 1,100 yards on the ground at best.
Am I James Cook or
Yeah, and
Josh
I had him in
Jacobs?
fantasy last year, so this isn't the best perspective, but it felt like he was really inconsistent. Like some weeks he would go off, some weeks he wouldn't. And for me as a fantasy owner, I can say this now, I didn't feel that good starting him most weeks because I felt like he had to get the touchdowns, and a lot of weeks he did though. But I don't know, I
Yeah.
didn't feel great about it. And he's good, he's
Yeah,
good,
it's
just not
pretty.
great. He's not an elite running
Yeah, it is
back.
interesting. I think I had Jacobs, not Jacobs. I had James Cook in a fantasy league as well. Although I forget if it was last year or the year before, honestly. I think it was last year.
Probably last
And
year. Last year was the year to get
the
him.
same thing. Yeah, I think it was a pretty good was that in my family league? I think so. Anyway, but like honestly though, a lot of the memories, fantasy memories, right? But a lot of the memories of my fantasy teams, like they're all kind of like phasing out at this point. Like
Sure.
I don't know, like I know I had James Cook in a league, and I'm not sure so it's just like anyway. So I don't know. My opinion, not to like disagree necessarily. I think the Bills should extend James Cook. And the reason that I think that is because we kind of had this like relatively recent sort of like a kind of crisis with the running backs feeling like they're not being paid. and then suddenly, Saquon Barkley got paid, a lot of other guys got paid, and maybe I'm just being like, maybe like Saquon is just so distracting. It's easy to see Saquon got paid. He had the season just be like, yeah, just pay your running backs.
Sure.
So I do acknowledge that I could be wrong there.
So my thing
What I
isn't that
do
I
think is,
don't want to pay the running backs, but I don't want to overpay at the same time. And I don't know if
I,
I'm paying 15 million for James Cook. That's just kind of
I yeah,
not
I
Buffalo.
would. The reason I say that is I think James Cook is young. He's only been in the league for 3 years, and I think the league isn't as I think the salary cap's in a situation to where if he sucks, you could like move on. If he's really good, then you have a really good guy under contract. I guess I just got kind of go based off potential.
Hmm.
And I also think it's like I mean, the Bills don't really have a lot like offensively, which I mean, to be fair, you do have Josh Allen, so it's not like you really need a lot offensively. But I probably would be inclined to pay him. I kind of think they will work something out, and I think it does benefit James Cook to be on the Bills because they are, perennial Super Bowl contenders. You have one of the
Oh
best
yeah. If I'm James
quarterbacks
Cook, I
in the
don't want to
league.
leave.
Yeah, so like I don't know like what I wouldn't under. I mean, I do know what he's making stink about. I'm just kind of like maybe you don't have to take every single last penny, but I mean, you do want a deal that's fair for you. But at the same time, I think something will be worked out, and I think it'll be fine. Like, I don't think it'll be seen as some like
As
disaster or
long as it's
anything
a
like that.
reasonable
But
deal for both sides, I think that they should extend him. I wouldn't I don't want to
Mhm.
I wouldn't want them to just move on from him. I think it's ideal for them to keep him for sure. Whoever else they go to at running back is not going to be as good as him for next season. There's no doubt about that. But I don't want to overpay
Right,
if it can be helped.
yeah, like if he's asking for Saquon money, okay, that's different.
It's really he's
But
asking
yeah,
for Derrick Henry money. You know,
I mean, it's solid. I mean, it's different though since Derrick Henry's like older but still really good. But yeah, it is kind of like up there.
if Derrick Henry were
Um,
younger, he'd be making Saquon money.
oh yeah, how did Derrick Henry do? I know he did good.
He
I'm just
had
actually
he had
wondering what his
almost
stat.
2,000 yards, I think.
He did, yeah, 1,900 yards, 16 touchdowns.
He had an
Wow, so
absolute
he
beast of a
and
season.
Saquon almost got. Did Saquon get 2,000?
Yeah, he got 2,000. Like he was
So he
pushing
got
for the
2,000.
record.
He just didn't break the. He didn't break the
Yeah, he
record.
sat out that last week because he's a team player.
Honestly, maybe this is a casual moment by me, but if Saquon Barkley's season didn't happen, are we just talking about Derrick Henry having had one of the best seasons ever as a running back?
We
I feel
probably
like that's
would
getting
give that a lot
overlooked.
more attention, but he is overshadowed by
Yeah.
Saquon. But also everyone acknowledges like he was amazing last season, especially being on the older side.
Derrick Henry had more rushing touchdowns than Saquon. Derrick Henry had 16, Saquon had 13. Okay,
What about games
honestly,
played though? Just
like
out of curiosity, who did they play the same amount of games?
they Saquon played 16, Derrick played 17.
Okay,
I guess I kind of
I mean either way, Derrick Henry probably gets more touchdowns.
yeah, Derrick Henry had 5.9 yards per carry, Saquon had 5.8.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Okay.
13, 16. Yeah, Derrick had 1921, Saquon had 2005. So I think their seasons were a little bit closer than actually. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that they had that close of like seasons. I think like everyone thought that like like everyone just like worships Saquon Barkley now. Like, oh, he's the absolute best, number one pick in fantasy, like man cover things like that. But like
Mm-hmm.
don't overlook Derrick Henry. As a Texans fan, I saw him just torch us for like 200 yards and like three touchdowns every
He's
time we played him.
insane,
It's
man.
like
He really is.
really, yeah, I know. It's like you can't tackle him, like literally, just yeah,
I'm looking
just
up James Cook's stats right now because I was curious. So his peak for rushing
yeah,
yards is 1122. Last year he got
mhm,
1,009. Um,
yeah,
he's been healthy so far. That's good. Last year his main thing last year was he got 16 touchdowns, which I honestly didn't realize it
yeah.
was that many. That's kind of crazy.
It is
Especially
crazy, yeah.
you would have expected Josh Allen to get more at the goal line, but I don't know. I don't know. Again, I think they should keep Cook if they can. Just I'm scared of overpaying. That's really all it comes down to for me. Especially if it's
Yeah.
Buffalo of all teams, I feel like they're less worried about their run game than other teams since they have Josh Allen.
Hmm.
But we know what a great running back can do for you. We just saw that in Philadelphia and Baltimore, really. We're a lot better with Derrick Henry. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to monitor. I think T.J. Watt and James Cook will get done. And Terry McLaurin. I guess if I were to think about, it, I guess I assume all of them will get done at some
yeah, I feel
point.
pretty good
I
about
just
most
think,
of them. Should be
yeah.
fine.
So like when you talk about like players like holding out or holding in or whatever, like which we to talk about T.J. Watt, Terry McLaurin, James Cook. I guess T.J. and Terry are veterans. James Cook is looking for a second contract. But then you have Shemar Stewart
Yeah,
holding out.
yeah.
What,
Okay.
what's up with that?
I would like to know if it's his fault or if it's Cincinnati's fault because I've been assuming he's just got some issues. Like why are you taking so long to sign a rookie contract? But is it possible Cincinnati's lowballing him? Are they offering him less money than he should be getting based on previous
So
contracts? What do you know?
so the deal is I don't know if you know this. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. I'm just so
I
he's
don't know,
getting
dude.
paid. No, you're good. So you get paid based on your draft slot, no matter the position.
Okay.
So he is gonna get paid at I don't know, like just say like what like total. Let's say total contract 2025. That sounds about right for a first round pick. Let's just say that. So
Okay.
let's say 20, and I have no idea. I could be totally off. So he will get paid like 4 years, 20 million. Like his salary is set. What they negotiate is stuff like I think signing bonus and like guarantees and things like that. So I guess the answer is like no, he's not getting lowball because he's gonna get a set rate.
Okay.
But it's just kind of like stupid stuff like that they're kind of like making us think about. I
So
don't know.
whose
I
whose
feel like
fault
I've
is it
heard.
though? Is it a him issue or a
Yeah,
Cincinnati issue?
it might be a little bit of both. I have heard criticism over like Cincinnati. Now I think part of it is that like Cincinnati is like known for being like cheap and things like that. Ironically, they just paid Jamar and
Yeah.
T, so I guess
Yeah, half
that's
their
like not
half their
really the
cap
case
space
now. But
is taken up by 3 players, so it's kind of funny.
right, yes, but I do think the Bengals have been notorious for like not being the greatest franchise when it comes to like sort of like retaining their talent and things like
Hmm.
that. But I don't know. I think it's kind of both. I'm not sure. It's just kind of stupid. Like just get it done. Like
Well, I'm sure they
it's a
will at some
rookie
point,
contract.
but how? I mean, everyone else signed pretty quickly. The draft was a month and a half ago at this point, so it can't drag out for that long. They gotta figure it out. But I don't know. It's
Right.
weird. It's a weird story, that's for sure.
Yeah, Shamar Stewart had a quote. I want to see if I can pull it up.
That'd be great.
I'm just curious, like, if it provides any like context.
Because I've not looked into this
Shamar.
situation at all.
He says, uh, I'm 100% right. I'm not asking for nothing. The Bengals have never done. I'm not asking for nothing the Bengals have never done before. But in y'all case, y'all just want to win arguments more than winning game. I don't know. Sometimes these players just talk
Yeah.
like they're in like fifth grade. Like, I can't really
Yeah,
even
that was
tell
that
what
was a
he's
pain to
saying.
try to listen to.
No, it's a pain to try read. Here's what literally says like. I'm 100% right. I'm not asking for nothing, and it's in bracket the Bengals, which he didn't say. It's just say he's just saying like
Hmm.
have never done before. But in y'all's case, y'all just want to win arguments, bracket, more than winning more games. I think he's just trying to say that the media is just making a big deal about it, which I mean
Yeah,
he's not necessarily wrong, I
that's
guess,
probably true.
but
They tend to do that.
yeah,
We
but
don't do that here at Football for Fun.
it
We
is
we take it
also
seriously.
weird.
Don't
Yeah.
blow it out of proportions.
It's also weird though that like your first round pick hasn't been signed. Like honestly, I kind of want to peg it on I still think it's kind of like both sides, but I want to peg it on the rookie because you've never played an NFL game. You've never played. You could be a bust for all we know, and it's just like, if you're a bust, you will be begging for your rookie contract again when your next is up, right?
Right.
Like, I don't necessarily think he'll
And
be a
if you're
bust,
good,
but
then the rookie contract's not going to matter because you're going to be getting paid so much. It looks like nothing anyway.
right. I don't know, just a stupid situation. I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's kind of both the rookie and the Bengals. Like, just come on, just agree to something.
That's probably the case. usually in a conflict, it's the fault of both sides to some degree. So I'm sure they're both at
Yeah,
fault somehow.
sure.